Everybody. How are you today? I wanted to come on live today and talk to you about process. Normally I write, but today God really impressed upon my heart to just come out and trust what I'm going to talk to you about today, which is the strategy of process. And so here I am today, actually trusting God's strategy myself. So I'm not only going to challenge you to trust it, I have to trust it myself by going live. And so what I wanted to talk to you about today is trusting the strategy of process. And sometimes in process, we really don't understand, or we're really not even sure as to where God is taking us and what everything that we are encountering is for. But there really is a strategy to this. There's a strategy to where God is taking us. There's a course that God has plotted out for us in process. And even though sometimes in the midst of it, it doesn't look like it, there really is. Job 23:10 says that he knows the way that I take, and that when I have been tried, that I'll come forth as gold. So there's three things that we can look at in this. One, that he knows the way that I take. So how does he know the way that I take? He knows the way that I take because he plotted out the course. You know, process is not a course that you're taking that God has no idea where you're going or what's going to happen to you or who you're going to encounter or what's going to happen. Absolutely not. He knows because he says he knows the way that you take. Then he says that when I've been tested. So that suggests to me that God understands what you're going to encounter during your process, that there's nothing that's going to happen or you're going to encounter or you're going to come up against that God doesn't know is going to happen. Why? Because again, he's plotted out the course. He knows the way that you're going to take. And then in the end, he declares your victory because he says that you're going to come forth as gold. And so in moving through process, we can trust God's strategy because number one, he knows the way that we take. And we know that because he's plotted it out. He said he knows our beginning from our end. Number two, even though we're going to be tested, we know that he already knows what we're going to encounter. And he's already given to us, or he's going to give to us as we're going through process, the way to deal with what we're going to encounter. And then number three, he says that we're coming forth as gold. So you can trust the strategy of process. You can trust what God has laid out. You can trust the directions that he gives you. You can trust the ways that he takes you because God is so strategic. I have learned through process that we serve a God that is very strategic, that there is nothing that happens in our lives that he is caught off guard by, that he is surprised by. You know, he doesn't look down from heaven and say, wow, I did not know that that was going to happen to her. I did not know that this was the thing that she was going to go through. So in process, there really is a strategy. There is a rhyme to the reason, or a reason to the rhyme, however that particular phrase goes. But God is methodical. He knows exactly what's going to happen. He knows exactly where he's taking you. And remember, process is not about pain. Process is about purpose. Process is about getting you to where God wants you to be. And so process requires testing. Process requires maturity. Process requires growth. Process requires God working some things in and out of you so that you can fully walk out your purpose. Where are you going, or how are you even going to manage your purpose if you don't go through process, if you don't even understand what your purpose is? And that is what process is all about. Process is about defining for you what your purpose is. Yes, there is healing that takes place. There's restoration that takes place. There is recovery that takes place. But also in process comes understanding, comes wisdom, comes knowledge. And you need it all. You need all of that to walk in your purpose. You need it all. And so today I just challenge you to trust the process, trust the strategy of process. Trust that God knows the way that you take. Trust that God knows the things that you're going to encounter, and trust that you're going to come out as gold. I know some of you right now, You're transitioning into different places. God is transitioning you into a new business. God is transitioning you into just maybe a new phase in your life. And so you've got to trust him for the way that he's going to take you. You've got to trust him for the instructions that he's going to give. One of the things that I talk to people about is not resisting the process, because you need every lesson that it teaches. You need everything that process is going to teach you. A lot of times people will say, well, just trust the process. But what I've come to understand is that you have to do more than trust the process. The process requires more than your trust. It requires your participation. And so in participating, you have to understand, and you got to remember that God knows where you're going. He understands that sometimes it's going to feel challenging. He understands that sometimes it's going to feel like to you that he's not even present, but he is. And so trust the strategy. Trust what God is doing. Trust where he's leading you. Be attentive to how he speaks to you during process. I really encourage people during their process that they really learn how to spend some quiet time with God, that they really learn how to get into his presence and be able to hear him, because being able to hear God and hear him definitively becomes really important in your process, especially because, remember, he's crafted the way that you're going. He's crafted the way that you're taking. And so in order to be able to move forward in the way that he's taking you, you've got to be able to hear him. And so I just encourage you today to trust the strategy. Know and be reminded that God knows the way that you take. He knows what you're going to encounter, and he knows how you're going to come out. I've trusted the strategy today by doing this video. And so I ask you to please like and share this video. Share it with somebody who you know is in process right now and who you believe would be encouraged by it. I'll be back again to talk to you all. I actually enjoyed this, and I thank you all for joining me today. I hope you all have a great rest of the day. Be excited. Don't resist the process. Remember, don't resist it. You need every lesson that it teaches. Have a great, great rest of the day.